Greetings everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Some Bond Geek Talks About with me, your host, the name Stevens, Henry Stevens. Everybody, how'd you do? Hope you're well, hope you're enjoying a good Bond film, a good Bond book, good Bond video game, a good James Bond, whatever makes you part of this glorious fandom, everybody, the James Bond community. Welcome everybody. And today we're going to be discussing Daniel Craig's third James Bond film, the film that marked the 50th anniversary of the franchise, the film to follow, in my opinion, the not-so-good Quantum of Solace. It is, everybody, Skyfall. And little thing for you right here. As you see, I'm just wearing my University of Gloucestershire hoodie, because I went to the University of Gloucestershire, everybody. This is the same top that I wore when I went to go see Skyfall in the cinema, everybody. It really is. Because I was at uni at the time, representing my old uni, everybody. University of Gloucestershire. It's awesome, everybody. It's awesome. But anyhow, everybody, here is my initial thoughts right off the bat about Skyfall. I think this is one of the best James Bond films of all time. I think this film is really, honestly, a modern-day spy classic. I think it's honestly one of the top 3 James Bond films of all time, and this review is just going to be talking about a lot about why I think Skyfall honestly is one of the best James Bond films of all time, in my opinion, and it does it in such a unique way, everybody. So stick around and listen to that. But now, going on from that, everybody, we've got to talk about my personal history with James Bond, because you all know, part of the channel, what the point of it is I like to share with you all my own personal history with James Bond, and how I've grown up with it, how it's affected my life, and where I was in my life when I saw these films. So as I say, I was at university when this film came out, everybody, and do you know what, I still remember, I think it was like in early 2012, do you remember that first teaser trailer came out with like the dun-dun, dun-dun, showing all those clips? I remember I was just literally working, just at a Mac or something, and I knew the Skyfall trailer was coming out soon, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna, it's on now, cool, I'll just take a break. And then I saw this trailer, everybody, and I thought, oh my god, this looks incredible, this looks unbelievably amazing. And I got that just from the teaser. The only thing we learned from it is when Bond hears the name Skyfall, he just goes away. Apart from that, a few action sequences and stuff. I mean, oh my god, this teaser trailer just, in my opinion, blew it out the park. I think I watched it about 5 times in a row. Then I had to go to the loo. Then I went back and watched it again. And I remember just showing it to everyone saying, oh my god, have you seen the new James Bond trailer, Skyfall? The teaser. And literally saying, that is actually a bloody good trailer. It really looked like, I think, it was just so incredible. And honestly, again, with that as well, I kept hearing so many of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean, I remember when it got leaked that Ben Whishaw was playing Q, and I just thinking, well, okay, that's different, but actually, that's really brilliant. And we'll get into this a bit more detail over, but I was getting so excited about it. I love how it looked. I'm not gonna lie, I remember there was like the first behind-the-scenes footage shots, Daniel Craig with his beard. I was thinking, why does Bond have a beard? Bond doesn't have a beard. He only has it for a minimal part of the movie, but do you know what? It's so silly, even to this day. When I talk about this, if Bond doesn't look exactly how I think he should, like from the books, or in any way, connected even closely, I still like, why does Bond have a beard now? You shouldn't have a beard. But it's just one of those weird things. And obviously, as I say, everybody, the big full trailer came out, which was just magnificent. The hype, honestly, around Skyfall was building, because at the same time, they were, building up the 50th anniversary. And oh my god, I have to talk about the 50th anniversary right now. What a celebration it was, everybody. Honestly, for us in the Bond community, what a celebration it was. I just honestly remember, I remember the documentary Everything or Nothing coming out, which I watched as soon as I got on DVD. That was incredible. Everyone was just starting to talk about James Bond in general public. Big things were happening throughout the time. The premiere of Skyfall was absolutely immense. It was incredible. Everyone was just getting so hyped and so proud of being James Bond. And of course, that year as well, we had the 2012 Olympics, where we had that lovely shot with James Bond and Her Majesty the Queen. By the way, I think that's one of my favourite things of 2012 ever, right up there with Skyfall, was that little bit with James Bond and Her Majesty for the Olympics. That was so well done, everybody. The excitement for Skyfall just kept growing throughout the entire year. Everyone, I think, seems to just be on this hype wagon of, it's the 50th anniversary, James Bond is our thing, let's celebrate it, hooray, brilliant, bring on James Bond. Everyone was just getting so hyped for it, everybody. I just do remember that as well. And do you know what? Another thing, actually, I really connect with Skyfall is, I don't know what it was, but it was at that time I started discovering sort of people on YouTube and podcasts that were, you know, just talking about James Bond all the time. And I felt I found my kin. You know, during the time, you know, leading up to Skyfall, I found, you know, Calvin Dyson's YouTube channel. I found David Zaritsky's YouTube channel, Joseph Darlington's. I found the James Bond and Friends podcast, the James Bond radio podcast. I was just finding all this stuff. So when I think of really Skyfall, I really, really fully connected with this time of just like pure excitement for like celebrating the 50th anniversary, finding all these YouTubers and podcasts that are now like people who love James Bond like I do. And just how everyone, it seemed like everyone was just, except, you know, just everyone for like 1 year in the whole world was a James Bond fan. But I also remember some other things that were really actually quite cool. As I say, everybody, I actually took a day off uni to go see Skyfall, because for me, when I'm watching a Bond film, I have to try and watch it if I can with my family. It's a family thing. I got to go watch it with my family. And I remember I took the day that Skyfall premiered off. I went back home and I went to go see it with my mum and dad. My sister just started uni. She couldn't get back. My brother, he was working at the time, and he's not really a fan of Daniel Craig's era that much. But I went to go see it with my mum and dad, everybody. And again, just, I just remember us going to see it. And I just remember us coming out the cinema thinking, wow, what have we just seen? This is like new next level stuff when it comes to the James Bond series. It really was. Even my mum, who, I'm going to be honest, she thinks Daniel Craig's probably the second worst James Bond of all time. Even she said, you know what? Credit where credit's due. That was a terrific Bond film, and Daniel Craig was terrific in that movie. I mean, the fact that she said that is really, really something. And I'm going to have to mention it one more time here, just sort of finish up this bit on. But as many of you know, that throughout the years, and I said in Quantum Solace was sort of the last Bond film I saw with my grandfather, everybody. I grew up watching the Bond films with my grandfather. And basically, this is obviously, Quantum Solace was the last film I saw with him. He was in a care home at the time that Skyfall came out, and you never get to see it. I'm so annoyed to this day he and I could have not watched Skyfall together, because I firmly believe, without a shadow of a doubt, he would have adored Skyfall. He would have absolutely loved it. I'm pretty much, I'm sure it would have been added to the list finally. He would have been right, End at World's not enough, then Skyfall was allowed to watch. He really absolutely, I think, would have loved it. So, you know what I mean? There is so much happy memories of Skyfall, in my opinion. But you know what? Throughout all of that, everybody, there are some bad points to this film. No film is really perfect. And there's two things in Skyfall, I think, that for me just really need addressing here. And number one is, I think, I just remember when the press conference came out, everybody, I felt Berenice Marlowe's character Séverine was sort of really much promoted as the main Bond girl, and Naomie Harris was sort of the secondary Bond girl. Turned out to be really the other way round, really, so to speak. And when I was watching the film, I actually felt her character is a bit wasted. Now, I'm not saying she's completely wasted, because she does have functions. She's the one who gets Bond introduced to our main bad guy, helps set him up. She has interesting back history. She's a fully real fleshed out character, everybody. But and I remember she's talking about she's going to be like a sort of new version of Xena Onatopp a bit, comparing herself to that. And I just remember they were so building her up in the movie, and she doesn't really leave much of an impact. So really, what I think about when I watch Skyfall, I have to say I think one of the big issues for me is I think how she's almost slightly wasted unintentionally, because I think the marketing really beefed her up to something that the character is not. But she still falls in to the carry-on of my James Bond feelings that all James Bond ladies are not just dumb, idiotic bimbos. They're very strong, sophisticated characters. And Séverine still falls into that. Her back history, what she's gone through to survive, and how she actually does have a proper function and a use in the film. She's not just a completely wasted character in that sense. So she really is there, everybody, in Ace of Spades. And the other bad point I've got to say about this film, and I'm saying this to the benefit of just I'm aware of this, but to me, I really don't care about it. But let's just say things in this film happen a bit too coincidentally. Silva was going to get captured at that point. We knew that Q would set off his computer that would open all doors. He knew exactly where M was going to be. He knew everything. There's a lot of very much like things like coincidence being put off as planning in this story, and a lot of people I know personally have an issue with that. Now, me personally, I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no issue with any of that stuff whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. For me, the suspension of disbelief really does play here. I firmly believe that Silva is smart enough, intelligent enough, and scary enough that he would have planned things so much throughout that he knows something like this would eventually happen. He would get away with it. I really do, absolutely, honestly, and I know I'm very much in the minority there. But I suspend my disbelief watching all that stuff because I think it is so good and the quality is so high, and I just believe it just adds to how Silva is so intelligently sort of dangerous. If that makes sense, even through all the madness he's got. And trust me, we'll get on to Silva in a bit more, everybody. But that's my two real sort of main issues in this movie. Outside of that, I think this story, just the good points in this film so outweigh everything else. And this is going a bit back to my personal history with Skyfall, but I felt I really wanted to bring it here, everybody. I've no proof to this, apart from if you spoke to my best friend in the world, he would sort of know. But when I was a kid, I always came up with ideas and plots for James Bond stories. I always did, and we sometimes acted them out a bit as kids. And I said to him, I think my idea of a perfect James Bond story is if MI6 gets under attack, and then Bond has to go out and find who attacked them. Does that ring a bell, everybody? Skyfall stole my childhood dream James Bond story. I know you did, everybody. I know you did. But it's okay. It's okay. I forgive them. And do you know why I forgive them? Because the story is utterly magnificent. I think this is one of the best James Bond stories ever in the whole of so far 23 film franchise up to this point. I think the pacing is fantastic. I think the whole idea about the hard drive containing all the enemy agents, a bit of a sort of similar thing to the first Mission Impossible movie, to be fair. Going missing in the MacGuffin Bond has to go track down, which leads into something bigger, is absolutely fantastic. I think how they use locations, Bond's emotional journey throughout this film. And, the whole point of the story is basically one of the things is trying to show that, why is MI6 still relevant in the modern day? Other Double-O's, a bit of an old-fashioned thing. Is this sort of spies just in general a bit of a passé thing? And that's what I love about Skyfall. It addresses those questions, and it does it in such a way that actually shows, no, we definitely need the Double-O section. We definitely need spies still. The whole sort of spy game, we definitely still need it. And I think that's what's brilliant about the Skyfall story. In general things, it just shows why it's important for spies to still exist in the world, and that I'm always very grateful for. And the next thing, and there are a few things that I really love about Skyfall, everybody, is just one of the things I don't talk about it that much recently, because there hasn't been that much great stuff, but the villain banter, everybody. One of my favourite scenes of all time in the James Bond series is the scene between James Bond and Dr. No in, obviously, the film Dr. No. I love it in movies where villains and good guys have a good sort of, if you will, verbal sparring banter between themselves. It's always a highlight in any movie I watch when they do that. It's great. It's fighting, but just on a different level. And the banter between Bond and Silva in this film is just, mwah! It is superb. We talk about, obviously, the scene, where Bond finally meets Silva and he has the long monologue about the island and the coconuts, and the whole conversation they have between the two. And then, every time Bond and Silva meet in the movie, for the most part, they have some sort of banter between each other, some sort of verbal joust. And it's just wonderful to see. It's beautiful to watch. I love it so much to bits. And it's written so incredibly well. I love watching, sometimes in films like horror, if I'm on a lunch break, I decide, okay, I'm just going to watch maybe a few Bond clips, just perk me up again. I guarantee you, one of the things I'll always generally watch still is the scene between Bond and Silva when they first meet in Skyfall. I can watch that whole scene right from when the elevator hits the ground all the way to the end where the MI6 helicopters come in to take Silva away. I could just watch that whole section of Skyfall repeatedly. Just the banter is so brilliant, everybody. It's just awesome. And you know what? Skyfall doesn't have that much in the sense of action sequences, but when they do, it's top tier, everybody. It's top tier. The pre-title sequence, the sort of Russian doll action sequence where you start on foot, then you know, bikes, then you've got obviously then you've got a train, you know, it just leaves you going pop 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 into something bigger each time. It's fantastic. It's choreographed so well, it's executed perfection, and no shaky cam, so you can see what's happening, everybody. And it's just beautiful to watch. I think, like everybody, love the bit where Bond jumps off the digger into the train, just, you know, does a little collar out. That's such a lovely little Bond motion. And then obviously you've got the fight sequence in you know, between Bond and Patrice with, you know, the neon lights, and it's just incredible, everybody, isn't it? I mean, it might only be small bits of action, but my God, when they do it, it's top tier, everybody. And then, of course, the attack on Skyfall, Bond's ancestral home. It's just utterly terrific as well. It's so well paced. And I have to say, I don't know about you guys, but I remember, you know, in the film, obviously, where, you know, Silva's right, and then Silva tells his helicopter to attack the DB5 and it blows up and you see Bond's face of anger. It's like, and me, on the cinema, I was like, right. No, you do not get away with this. You do not get away with this. This has crossed the line, everybody. This has crossed the line. I was so like that. I was literally like, let me at him. You don't do that. I really was a bit like that. And every time I watch Skyfall, I'm literally like, he blows at the smart him. Let me at him. I really was. It's silly, but it is so good. I love how Bond kills Silva at the end, you know, just the simple knife, last rat standing. So well done. And another thing, yes, there's more things, everybody. This film just visually is just, oh my God, it's one of the best films cinematography I've seen in my whole life. Roger Deakins, I think the Oscar-winning DP, you know, and I think probably everyone will agree, one of the greatest cinematographers in film history does this film, and he just brings his magic to this film in so many levels and space. It's absolutely beautiful to watch. I don't think any other Bond film has done. And do you know what, everybody? There was a bit of a debate at the time, and I think there still is, about filming film over digital. Basically, obviously using film stock over, you know, digital cameras. I like using digital cameras, and I love the look digital films have, such as The Avengers and Skyfall that year. And Skyfall just proves the point to me. Sorry, it doesn't matter really. You can prefer one or the other. It's just how you shoot it, how you light it, and everything. And Skyfall, I still think, shot on digital cameras, by the way, is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in cinematic history. I really do stand by that. And it just upped the ante. I think from now on, if you look at Spectre and No Time to Die, every cinematographer is going right, the minimum standard we've got to get in our footage is what we saw in Skyfall. It really is now. That's really good. But you know what? I think I'll end just the good points here on this. There is one scene in the film, again, outside that, I think is just really good, and it shows Daniel Craig's acting so wonderfully in this film. It's, you know, without even saying anything, it's the bit where, after the title sequence, Bond is sort of, you know, trying to have a bit of enjoy retirement, and he's just a bit bored, you know, he's just getting drinking, sleeping with women, you know, just naturally what you do, everybody. And there's the bit where he finds MI6 under attack, and you see that look in his eyes, everybody. You just see that look of anger and upset, because even though Bond is a B word, he is a not really nice person, he is so patriotic and so, you know, actually so much a hero that he has to come back, and you just see it in his eyes. I can't allow this. I've got to come back and save my country, my MI6, my people there. You know, even though he's so angry with them, and just like, you know, not, you know, as I say, Bond is a B word. You just see that all in Daniel Craig's eyes. All that emotion, all that, you have attacked England, I'm gonna sort this out. I'm gonna be, you know, that hero side of James Bond just so well there. Such a wonderful moment. So that I'm just gonna leave the good points there, everybody. Otherwise, I think we can carry on going on for a while here. But I've got to talk about characters here. Now, let's start off again with our main man, Daniel Craig. This, in my opinion, is his best performance of James Bond. I think he looks the best he ever has in this film. And everything about him in this film is just utterly superb. He is so James Bond here. Gone Away is the story of him becoming Bond. He is James Bond here through and through. And do you know what? I think this is his best performance actually in the franchise. I really do. A lot of people say, no, it's Casino Royale. No, I really do believe it's Skyfall. And I'll tell you why. I think he's got to that level now where he's comfortable enough that he can experiment with it and just really make it his own. And at the same time, he now knows, like, right, this is where to be a bit more light-hearted, this is where to be a bit darker, this is my James Bond. And he does it so well. A lot of people talk about Daniel Craig James Bond as the Bond who bleeds. To be honest, I call Daniel Craig James Bond film the Bond who gets injured. Because I think he's properly the only first James Bond film actor, minus obviously Pierce Brosnan was enough, who really, you see him get shot, he gets bleed, he gets, actually you see the physical damage of being an MI6 agent on him, and it just brings a level of authenticity to it. It really does. You know, I think he just nails every moment in this film, and I just firmly believe this man is James Bond. I'm seeing James Bond right in front of me now, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. We've talked obviously about Severine, Bernice Marlowe, but we haven't talked a bit about Naomie Harris here, who also turns out to be Moneypenny. I'm going to be honest, everybody. I got spoiled that it was Moneypenny before the actual I watched the film, so I was prepared for that. But what I loved about watching it was thinking, okay, I know this is Moneypenny, but my family don't. And it's sort of like I was watching now the origin a bit of Moneypenny, seeing this field agent who was good, but actually realised she preferred being, behind a desk for a bit. And you saw this evolution, and you also saw, I think, the banter beginning origins between Bond and Moneypenny, and you saw this evolution and this friendship starting to form. It was honestly... it was beautiful. It was so beautiful to watch. And Naomie Harris is such a terrific actress. Long may she be with Moneypenny for more future films, in my opinion. I think she's utterly superb. I'd be very upset when another actress, I don't know, something like, the actress who plays Shiri in Black Panther, or I can't... I'm trying to think of this other really amazing actress I can't think of ever replace her. But I think Naomie Harris is absolutely terrific as Miss Moneypenny, really giving a run for her money to Lois Maxwell or Samantha Bond, in my opinion. She really is utterly superb. I'd like to hear talk about Q, basically, because Q, obviously I said in the beginning, Ben Whishaw, a very different Q. This one is a computer whiz, very much into his technology and software, online hacking and all that stuff, but still his Q branch does make a few more realistic gadgets and stuff for his agents, and he's so wonderfully done. I do remember when I got this film on home video, I saw it with my brother, and my brother hated the idea of this little, here's an idea, pup squeak of guy being Q. And I remember he watched that scene in the art gallery, which, by the way, again, such an amazing sequence in the movie. Just being, you know what, I'm convinced, no, this guy is the modern day Q. I really like him. And I think one of the things my brother does like in the modern era, actually, is the new Q. Ben Whishaw, may he long reign as Q. I think his new Q is interesting. It's different. It's still got the old traditional stuff in it, but at the same time, it's his own unique thing. I think, again, a wonderful introduction and great to bring back, actually, Q and Moneypenny finally into the franchise, everybody. Now, I'm going to talk here a bit about M before I get to some other characters here, everybody, because a lot of people say M is the main Bond girl in this film, and to be honest, again, they are probably right. I know I said earlier it was Naomie Harris as Moneypenny, but it is probably M. This is very much M's story, as well as Bond's, and Judi Dench is just incredible in this movie, and she really, knowing this is her last one, I think she really gives it a all and really gets into it. That lovely line she says, "To hell with dignity. I'll leave when the job's done." That's why I respect that character. That's why if she orders me go off and just kill a dictator somewhere in another country, I would. But Judi Dench obviously is absolutely amazing as M, as always in these films, everyone, and she has been ever since she started in GoldenEye, everybody. This is, as I say, her last film in the franchise. She dies at the end of this film. Sorry, spoiler, but it's been out for a while. And I remember I was getting welled up seeing that, effectively my M, even though it wasn't exactly my M, just, die in Bond's arms. It was such a dramatic moment. It really was. It was an absolutely terrific sequence. And I think, M's history coming up to bite her in the arse, basically, and, Bond getting caught up in it is just really, really interesting. And just see how she deals with it and how, her everyday life just carries on going. It's just, Judi Dench, I'll always be just absolutely incredible. She was my first I saw, when I first saw GoldenEye, my first James Bond film I saw. I've just followed her basically throughout my whole life up to this point being and it's just incredible. She is, without doubt, and always will be my M. She will always be my favourite M, and I love her to bits so much. I've also gone on to talk here about Mallory, her replacement. Obviously, played wonderfully by Ralph Fiennes. And by the way, Ralph Fiennes as M, just just well done, everybody. Just superb. I love how in the film we don't really know if Mallory's a good guy or a bad guy, and they really play with that really well. And then at the end, when you realise he is a good guy and actually someone we like and grown to like, it's brilliant. And when you see him now has become the new M, it's like, yeah, I'm very happy with you, sir. I'll happily take orders from you. You're terrific. You're absolutely terrific in this film. Just, I honestly, I got so excited to know that Ralph Fiennes was going to be M. And I hope, past Daniel Craig's era, he will still be M, and we'll get him as M for quite a few years, a bit like Bernard Lee and Judi Dench as well, and also Robert Brown, give him a shout out there. But I think he is superb. We know he's a superb actor. And have him as M's boss, I think is just, it just excites me. It makes me so happy, everybody. It really does. But now, everybody, let's talk on the big one here. I haven't talked about yet, the villain. Javier Bardem, who, let's face it, after No Country for Old Men, we were waiting to become a Bond villain, comes here and gives just this ode to villainy in Raul Silva. Diego Rodriguez, just Silva, just incredible, everybody. This is my doubt. This is near perfect James Bond villain for me. He's intelligent, ruthless, a maniac, cunning, just everything about him is absolutely brilliant. He is basically, if you will, the Joker of the Bond universe, I'd put on. There's a little bit of old villains in him while having his own unique thing. Silva is, to me, the perfect reason and understanding why I always say, everybody, when it comes to these films, you're only as good as your villain. The reason Skyfall, I think, is so good, well, one of the big reasons is the fact that we've got such an amazing villain for Bond to go up against. And, you know, Javier Bardem is just incredible. His look is incredible. The way he acts is incredible. The way he manipulates his face, minus the CGI section, is just so incredible. I mean, let's face it. One of my favourite bits is, you know, the very, I think, famous moment where the train bashes through and trying to hit Bond. You know, well done, James, for being a physical wreck. Something for my local toy store. Is that all for me? No, that is. It's just, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it so much. He's just incredible. As I say, I talked about his monologue sequence. This, honestly, Raul Silva is literally top 3 Bond villains as well, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt. He is so good, and it's such a hard act to follow. That's why they got Christoph Waltz. It's just incredible, everybody. You know what, everybody? I've really gone on about this film a lot. You know, we're nearing the half-hour mark, but you know what? I've had to just really share with you all my love of Skyfall. Skyfall, in my opinion, is definitely like, it's probably like in my top 3 Bond films. I don't know where it goes, either second or third, but it's up there, everybody. It's up there. I think the story is incredible. The action is incredible. The pacing, the villain is out of this world. You know, there are negative points to it, but I can just overlook it. Everything in this film is just firing off all cylinders. And what a film to celebrate Bond reaching 50 years and going into the next and launching the series into the next 50 years. This is literally the perfect film for the Bond 50th anniversary, everybody. But I want to know, everybody, what do you think about Skyfall? Do you like it as much as me? Do you don't like it as much as me? Do you think I'm overselling it? Do you know what? I want to know your opinions, everybody. Comment down below and tell me what you think about Skyfall. Everybody, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel for top 10s, video reviews, editorials, what if else world scenarios, you know, trailer reactions. We've all got it here on the channel, everybody. It's all for you to come and enjoy, everybody. So don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell icon down below as well, everybody, to receive future updates on videos. Everybody, as always, my name's Henry Stevens, and this has been some Bond Geek Talks About. Goodbye.